to keep our business going. We will not do it. We will not give our sovereignty up. We will not.
In the early 1980s, a few Indian tribes began to try using gaming businesses to raise money to fund the operation of their tribal governments. Since most tribes have nothing within their jurisdiction to tax and no useful natural resources, this became an important new way for tribal governments to pay the cost of providing services for their people.
So what you done?
Well, one of the problems that we have on this res is that we've had no code or ordinances. So we've basically got a little junkyard going here. I noticed that happens a lot with a lot of reses, and with the onset of gaming, we were able to afford to get these cars taken off. These are just some of them. There was probably about, I'd say 10 times as many as these around the res. That's my grandpa's house. He built that about 100 years ago. And that's the house that me and my brother are trying to restore to make livable again. Even though we can't get government funds, we don't believe that it should be tore down or destroyed. So we depend on gaming funds in order to help us with that house. So we started a tribal maintenance with monies that we get from the casino to start helping to clean up this place. So they haven't been able to come up here yet. And there's a lot more cars that go down this way. Actually, if the elder people were here, we would be in a lot of trouble because this would be very offensive to them. As well it should be. For about 50 years before, there was nothing going on here. Nothing at all. And the reservation fell into a state of disarray, and that's how we get the cars all lined up and all junked out all around the place. I think this reservation has suffered its fair share of alcoholism and drug abuse and just people not caring no more. And that has a lot to do with what we have to fight. Since gaming has come, we've spent roughly $50,000 in rehabs. We have about 12 people that are not abusing the way that they were.
My name is Lucille Gomez. I've worked here since the beginning of time, day one. I'm a tribal member, and I'm also a recovering alcoholic and a drug addict. This is what this tribal gaming gave to me. It gave my life back, my pride. I was born and raised on the reservation in poverty. Now I own a mobile home. I work every day. I'm a games manager, and I'm proud to be an Indian now. I will hold my head up because I have a job. And Governor Wilson, because of you, you're going to put me back right where I started, at the bottom of the barrel. So I plead to you to give me my life back. Don't take it away. And my people. Thank you.
In 1987, after California tried to shut down a tribal bingo parlor at the Cabazon Reservation, the U.S. Supreme Court confirmed that because of tribal sovereignty, California couldn't interfere with tribal government gaming on Indian lands. Only 1 year later, under pressure from the states, Congress took away some of that sovereignty by passing the Indian Gaming Regulatory Act, sometimes called IGRA or IGRA. IGRA said that for the most popular and profitable kinds of gaming, tribes and the states therein would have to regulate gaming together. They'd have to negotiate agreements called compacts about how they'd share the regulation. IGRA required the states to negotiate in good faith, but for many years, Governor Pete Wilson refused to negotiate with the tribes at all unless they'd shut down first. Finally, in March of 1998, after months of secret negotiations, Wilson announced that he had signed a compact with one non-gaming tribe called Pala. Other tribes were furious because they knew the terrible deal Pala had agreed to would now be used against them. Sure enough, the United States Department of Justice immediately told all California gaming tribes that they would have 60 days to either take the Wilson-Pala compact or shut down the gaming businesses they counted on to support their tribal governments. About 16,000 jobs and millions of dollars of desperately needed tribal government revenue would be lost.
Hi, I'm Lou Durr. I'm the food and beverage manager here at Canocti Vista Casino. I've been here since day one in 1994. And I feel Indian gaming has been real beneficial for the tribe here. And we all have a good time working here, and it's taken a lot of people off the welfare lines and put a lot of people to work. Now, I'm not a tribal member myself, but like a lot of other people here, it's a good way to support our families, and it's really brought up the economy in our county.
My name is Valentino Jack. I'm tribal chair for Big Valley Rancherie here. What I wanted to talk about is the sovereignty issues that I believe that the state of California's compact with Paula will violate. For a long time, we had nothing going on this tribe. We got our business going, which is the gaming, Canocti Vista Casino. We do a lot of things for our members that haven't been done in the past.
Tribal leaders throughout the state agonized about the effects of a forced federal shutdown on their employees and their government programs that help children, elders, and other tribal members and provide social services, education, housing, and job training.
I have a fear for a lot of the employees who have opportunity, first time ever, some of them that are working now, have gotten off the welfare roll and have been able to provide because of employment at the casino for their kids for benefits, for health benefits. And we're talking about, layoffs and unemployment and welfare, and then you've got the welfare reform. So where does that put our people? We're back to square one, and a lot of our employees have never experienced working in a real job before, and have sort of been on-the-job training, and first time ever had a job. So, there's a lot of those fears that I have for the tribal members. So.
Well, some of the employees that I talked to, they're already out scouting around looking for other jobs in case anything happens, in case we close down. They're hoping that we stay open, but they're not sure. Mm-hmm. Especially the ones that are involved with the machines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think we're also looking at the tandem situation, where some of those that are off the welfare, they're going to go back onto welfare, but now there's going to be a reduction for those who are looking at, they can't get back on welfare.
Yeah. And taking away employment from individuals, what else is available to them? They don't have anywhere to go. They don't have any experience in jobs, and it's a shame to be treated that way.
The tribes knew that the compact that the Pala tribe had taken would ruin their businesses if they took it, and that if they didn't, the U.S. Department of Justice would move to shut them down. Since IGRA says compacts aren't valid until approved by the Secretary of the Interior, the tribe's supposed protector under federal law, the tribes sent their leaders to a meeting in Sacramento with the Assistant Secretary of the Interior, Kevin Gover, to try to convince him to reject the Pala Compact.
Well, good morning to all of you, and welcome to this government-to-government meeting between the Indian tribal leaders of California and the Department of the Interior. As each of you know, on March 13, the Bureau of Indian Affairs Indian Gaming Management Office in Washington received for review the tribal state compact between the Pala Band of Mission Indians and the state of California. Today is your opportunity to speak your piece about the Pala compact. I'm here to listen and hear what you have to say. This is a government-to-government meeting, and I request that all the governments here be treated with the dignity and respect that they deserve.
Good morning, Mr. Gover, and good morning to all of you representatives from the tribes here in California. I'm Victor Preston. I'm the tribal chairman for the Confederated and Unified Bands of the Paiute, Maidu, Washoe, and Pittsburgh people of the Susanville Indian Rancherie in Lassen County, California. The most important thing I want to mention to you is that our tribe is in full opposition to the terms of that compact. We respect the sovereignty of the Pala Reservation and the membership of the Pala people, but Our belief is strong in that we believe that the compact itself was not negotiated in good faith. We feel strongly that law has been violated. The National Indian Gaming Regulatory Act has been violated by this governor for not negotiating a compact with us in good faith. And most of all, we request that the Secretary not approve this compact since it was not negotiated in good faith and since it does not represent a model for all tribes. It is not our model, it is Paulo's model. We have a casino going that provides jobs. We have a casino going that is bringing revenue to our people. The funds that are being generated are going to be used for some good things, primarily to assure a future for our children. Our children are our concern. We wish you to take these demands and these concerns back to the Secretary and please take action upon them. We have gone back to DC 2 times just this year to ask for assistance in regard to a number of projects that we have going. We have had no response. I'm going to leave you with copies of the resolution and the letter, and maybe we can get a response back soon. I thank you very much on behalf of our tribe and of people here, and the tribes here in California who demand to have their sovereignty respected in a legal negotiation process. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Mr. Cohen. My name is Wayne Mitchell. I'm the chairman of the Cooley Indian Community Council. And I want to keep this short because I don't want to take up too much time from everyone else. I don't have any problem with my brothers and sisters that accepted this compact, but it's not ours. It's not Calusa's. Deal with us. I'm angry right now, and I'm kind of a physical guy, and I don't want to get to that point.
I believe it's your responsibility to, or the Secretary's responsibility to disapprove this compact on all the points the tribes are bringing out, especially the fact that it does infringe upon our sovereign rights, something that has been done all through the years in a not so legal way. I think that it was done in a secretive, deceitful way and planned all to come out at one date with the media coverage, and it's been a campaign against the Indian people of California, and it doesn't surprise me that the legislators of California are doing that. They did that in the 1850s when they instigated Congress now ratifying our treaties. So the state has historically been oppressing Indian people and trying to regulate anything that we can do to try to step up out of the gutter. And I think that anyone can look at it with open eyes and in their right mind and see where the deceit was, and see where all the collusion was, and see how they're trying to divide the Indians once again. The consequences are going to be lived with it, are going to be lived with it in Indian country. Not the way the money trickles down through the appropriations and then through the Bureau and all the way down through all the agencies. We live with it at the bottom to where it counts. That's where we feel it. Everyone else goes to lunch, you can't get to them or talk to them, you think that everyone's too busy. But we're living with it down here, and I think that I'd like to take this opportunity to demand on behalf of my tribe that the Secretary does approve this compact.
Thank you for coming today. I had a written statement, but I'm going to do it from my heart. Where we come from is Mr. Alkali, 170 acres. Can't grow a darn thing on it. But we managed to survive on this thing. We tried everything, farming. Went to school through BIA schools and all these things. I said, we'll make a better living for other people. Come to San Francisco, I did that. "14 years ago, we were confronted by a foreign country from British that came into our land, and they said, we want to make a bingo. I said, well, I guess there was another person that came into the world one time, and he took a chance. His name was Columbus, and he came around. So when the Indians discovered him. So, with this gaming that we have, so-called compact, we were the last ones to get machines in our facility. We've been operating for about 3 years. In the 3 years, we managed to build 76 houses, an elder center, Head Start. We have about 30 children now that went back to school. The majority of them are in college now. It's all due to gaming. We have 90 jobs in the pipe. We have a hotel, we have a KFC. The other day I got a letter from our homecoming parade committee. They're asking for donation from our tribe. From my tribal council members. 10 years ago they wouldn't give a damn if we were here or not. They wouldn't even be writing us these letters. So we oppose this compact also. We learn as we go on with the negotiations and everything with the Bureau, IHS, state, name it, with all the EPA and all these things there. We're going to compromise. There was a promise that was made to all the Native Americans in California back in 1851. There were certain items that were put on this treaty. There was 18 treaties there. We had all itemized and everything else. So we don't care who it is, the federal government, the state of California, Congress, or whoever. All these things that were itemized since 1851 to the present day comes to about $161 billion. So we say, you take our gaming, take our sovereignty. You took our land. Land was given away by the Attorney General. Now the Attorney General can take the gaming away. So we'll compromise with you. You want all this stuff, give it to us, but give us $161 billion that's owed to us from the California tribes. Thank you.
My name is Les Marston. I represent 12 gaming tribes within the state of California and one non-gaming tribe. And on behalf of those tribes and on behalf of the coalition of other California tribes, I want to urge you to disapprove the compact. And not only disapprove the compact, but do something more, which I'll talk about in a minute. We submitted a comprehensive memorandum that outlines 16 reasons why, legally, why you cannot approve this compact. I have faith in you, Mr. Gover. You have a reputation for being a good lawyer. I know Mr. Scabine has a reputation for being a good lawyer. I am confident that once you go through this compact and analyze it strictly on a legal basis, setting aside the equities that are clearly in the favor of the tribe, that you'll have absolutely no choice but to reject this compact. You need to do something more. You can't just reject this compact. Because when you reject this compact, you and I both know the tribes have no remedy. They have absolutely no remedy. They've brought bad faith lawsuits which have been dismissed on 11th Amendment grounds. We have sued the United States government trying to get your boss, the Secretary, to promulgate secretarial procedures. We're in court over that very issue now. We have sued the Justice Department trying to get the U.S. attorneys to represent us and bringing bad faith lawsuits against the state. We've won at least at the district court level. We're told we're going to be taken up on appeal. The Interior Department has been silent long enough. It is time for you to weigh in. And therefore, on behalf of my clients, I am asking you, I am urging you to use whatever political clout you have, whatever political chips you can cash in, whatever it takes. If you've got to get down on your knees and beg, you go to the Justice Department in your capacity as our trustee, and you are our trustee. Right. It's your time, Mr. Gover, because you have been in the very position that I have been, and you have made the same arguments to the United States government. You are the trustee now. You need to go to those Justice Department boys and tell them to leave the tribes alone. Right. after you reject this compact, you need to make a formal litigation request to the Justice Department to bring a class action lawsuit on behalf of all California gaming tribes, asking the United States government to sue the state for bad faith, for refusing to negotiate.
Despite 6 hours of testimony, overwhelmingly against the Paula Compact, the Secretary of the Interior approved it. The tribes responded with an initiative petition and got Proposition 5 on the ballot, hoping the voters would give them a fair and reasonable compact. Meanwhile, the tribes continued their court battle. While tribal attorneys urged a federal judge to issue an injunction to prevent the Justice Department's shutdown of tribal government casinos, members of the Coalition of Northern California Tribes rallied in United Nations Plaza in San Francisco.
My name's John Abbott. I'm from Susanville, California, and I came down with the people from the local rancheria there today primarily to observe this, but also because I support what they're doing. I'm retired law enforcement and currently running for county sheriff up there, and I think the casino's a good idea. It keeps jobs and business in the community, keeps people from going out of state to do something they're going to do anyway. As far as I know, there's been no troubles or problems associated with the casinos, but it has generated local jobs and local support. And I think it's wrong to take away the means for the rancherias and the tribes to make a living.
Yeah, my name is Joe Sanchez. I'm from Susanville, California. I'm a board member up there, and we're here for one reason, is trying to save our casino. We went along with the Paula Compact when it was started, but then when the governor went behind closed doors with one tribe, we were excluded. That's not right. It's another deal where the governor is splitting the tribes, divide and conquer, and that's what's happening to us because we had no say in this. We believe in our own tribal sovereignty. We're a small tribe. We have our own feelings, our own rights. We don't believe that one tribe should lead us along with them. You're like a bunch of sheep.
The marchers left the United Nations Plaza, ironically passing a memorial to the 49ers, whose arrival marked the beginning of the final theft of their homeland and the murder of their ancestors. When the marchers got to the federal building, they gathered on the courthouse steps and rallied their spirits, waiting for the judge to make his decision.
From the Hoopa people, we just want to say we're not going to give our sovereignty up for anything.
I just want to say that we're from Big Valley Rancheria is going to fight it to the end for our future, our children. We have a long fight ahead of us, so let's keep together and keep fighting. That's all I got to say. Thank you.
The Hopland Band of Pomo Indians will stand tall. Our membership has voted that we will stand to the end too. We thank you very much.
All right, here comes our attorney.
This morning, on behalf of 7 federally recognized Indian tribes, we filed a motion for a temporary restraining order, asking Judge Zimmerman to issue an order prohibiting Michael Yamaguchi, wherever Mike went, Janet Reno, and the Justice Department from initiating any civil or criminal forfeiture action against the tribes. What Judge Zimmerman did today, he spent the majority of the day trying to figure out procedurally how he was going to proceed in all of these cases. And what he's done is he did not rule on our motion for a temporary restraining order. In other words, he hasn't granted it, but he hasn't denied it either. And instead, what he's done is he set the matter for a hearing this Wednesday at 10 a.m. in the morning to hear all of the motions. And the court at that time will decide whether or not they're going to protect us.
We're asking the public, the community, and people to call Governor Wilson, call U.S. attorneys, and ask them why. Why do you want to take away employment from people? Why do you want to have homeless people in our areas? Why do you want to deprive, right here next to me, my grandchild, Justine Hunter, right here? Why do you want to deprive her? Why do you want to deprive her and all of our children a better education, better things for them in the future? Why do you want to keep that away from them?
Ultimately, the court denied the emergency motion, telling the tribes they were free to come back and try again. 14 highly complex lawsuits are pending in the Northern District of California alone. Decisions in those cases may come as soon as December 4th. At least one judge in Los Angeles appears prepared to begin the shutdown. Others are moving more slowly, seeming to hope that the voters will solve the problem. Proposition 5 is the tribe's solution to this impending disaster. Almost all of them say that if it is passed by the voters, it will give the tribes a fair compact, allowing them to keep their casinos open under all of the existing federal and tribal governmental regulations and with a reasonable amount of state oversight. It would also mark the first time that Indian tribes have put their faith directly in the voters and won.
Hey!